for your atomic wedgie.
My atomic wedgie.
Yeah. Hey guys, so thanks for tuning in today. Squat Monday, had a new cat on the block. Steve actually held up pretty well. What sort of training do you normally do, Steve?
Just a bit of everything really. So Monday's a bit different.
Yeah.
We did bench on Mondays, but it's a good change up and stuff like that. Starting to get into the powerlifting scene and starting to get stronger.
Yeah. So I mean, everyone knows Monday, International Chest and Buys Day. However, at the Muscle Pit here in West Australia, Perth, we always hit squats. It gives us the maximum amount of time for us to be resting till deadlifts on Friday. That being said, a typical split for us, if you've not tuned in before, looks like Monday squat, Wednesday bench, and Friday deadlifts, with Saturday being bench again. That being said, you would think that squats is all about legs. So today, if you watched from the beginning, we did standard squatting with different intensities and volume. Then we moved on to front squatting. Then we moved on to hamstrings, which is in the form of a Nordic curl. Then we moved on to walking lunges, which is sort of overall leg movement. Then we do back, upper back, with a focus at the moment on lower lat. So we're doing a lot more rounding over, which typically you probably identify as being poor form. One thing that I sort of point out when I do seminars with a lot of people is there isn't such a thing as a bad technique unless it's going to cause direct injury, but there is ideal techniques for ideal goals. And so if you ever see someone in the gym, they're doing something a little bit left of center and you're like, they don't know what they're doing, or that's wrong. Yep, maybe, or it's just the most applicable exercise for their particular goal at the particular stage. So standard, we would do, like strict back movements, but at the moment, because we are focusing on that lower lat, not for aesthetic purposes, but more to have the lat back tie into the hip. So when we do things like heavy squat, heavy dead, we've actually got a more solid midsection. So from there we follow up with core. We do core every workout, except for me for Saturdays, but I noticed Nathan did them on Saturday, so I'll do them on Saturday.
Yeah, I got towards the end and I thought, I got a bit of extra time. I could really do with getting that extra bit of strength out. I don't think that there's anything that we do that's sort of like a waste of time, not worth doing. So when I saw it on the program for the Wednesday, I thought, I've got the time. It's plenty. It's a core exercise. I've got the rest of Saturday, all of Sunday before I come in on Monday. So
yeah. And the thing about like your midsection, because it is realistically predominantly a lot of slow twitch fibers, so endurance fibers, because it's having to be on all day for your posture, for you to stay upright, you can train it much more regularly because it's just going to be able to deal with that volume. In the past we've talked about functional reaching, and so that means like if your ability lies here and your recoverable volume is here, you might reach to just above that, and so over time you start to do this where it becomes unfunctional or not like long-term conducive, to gains and stuff, is where you're actually reaching beyond where you can repair. And for the first few weeks, you're not going to notice it until the gap gets about this. And then you'll actually be like, why am I seemingly going backwards when I'm training just as hard as I thought I was, but I'm getting weaker? Chances are you're actually not stepping up your recovery to the same volume. So a lot of people would hear that statement and go, I'm doing too much work. No. If you're a professional NBA star that's being paid hundreds of millions of dollars, you're going to do as much work as is possible to keep that contract coming. So all you need to do is find, what can I do to improve the recovery level? And so it's just about stepping that up. You might have heard me talking earlier about cold showers and stuff. Cold showers are really good in terms of helping that CNS recovery. So whenever we're doing strength training, you tend to feel a little bit beat up, not just muscularly, but neuromuscularly. So
yeah.
What do you reckon, Nathan? Final wrap up, anything?
No, it's good. It's a good training session. It's actually good for helping.
Yeah.
It's good.
And first time down here, so it's something pretty different.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good different one.
Yeah.
Something I noticed from my squats was that in the back of my mind, as we were working up towards a certain value, that as I was getting towards it, I had an expectation of, I had this sensation of what it should feel like, and we're not wrapping, and I don't have knee sleeves, and the way I was doing it was as if I had them, and Corey sort of pointed out to me, and the bottom and the whole there I was pausing, and it was slow. Mentally, I had this expectation that I was going to get pushed out by my reps, and I don't have them, so I sort of feel like I've developed a habit into a smaller, like a bit of a reliance on those. So going forward, it's going to be good not having that there, hitting that that 1 to 10 difficulty outside of wearing those. And I hope that the turnaround on that's going to be like using the stiff bar and deadlifts.
Yeah.
That when I do get back into using them, I'm going to have that extra fucking bit of grunt because there's no expectation of helping me.
So the thing that we've talked about in the past is, if you're like, whatever your maximum value strength is, say you can do is a 200 kilo squat, if every single part of your body is capable of 220 and there's one part of your body that's inaugural to hitting that squat is only capable of 200, your maximum squat will only ever be 200 until you bring up that weakest link. And so what we saw today with Nathan coming out of the hole and sort of waiting for something to happen rather than initiating something to happen, if we can bring that value up for him, say to wherever the rest of his body is, you might find his squat jumps up to 270, 280 overnight rather than staying at 262. 260?
260.
260. So I'm just going to check out if
I was
anyone's
gonna say,
asked any questions. Yeah. So obviously guys, this is a time where if you do have specific questions, we can sort of address them, answer them. If not, shoot Nathan a whisper. I'm sure he'll
Facebook,
speak you back.
Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I'm on all of them. King K, look for the same icon. You'll find me. Like, share, follow. And if you like what you saw, don't forget to hit the follow button, hit the notification so you see us when we go live.
Yeah, and more importantly, guys, like, ask those questions because
Yeah.
if you want to get value out of this channel, we need to know how to deliver that. So you tell us what you want to see and what you want to hear, and we'll do our best to accommodate that. But in the words of Tigger, TTFN, ta-da for now. So normally, man, we just sort of hit up a couple of stretches, just roll around a bit.